So here's the second Flexbox design pattern from Google's Web Fundamentals website. And as I change this, you can see it's changing. And ask yourself, right, how would you build this? What is going on there? So just watch this for a second. And I seriously want you to ask yourself this question. So there's that, and then that. How do you get it to do that? Like, just answer even this first question. Like, what are you going to use here to get this arranged so that you're set up well using Google's design pattern, which you saw in the last video? How are you going to set this up so it works like that? Okay, pause the video and answer that. Here's my answer. Well, if we do, we're going to make a flex container, right? And these will all be flex items. And we're going to use flex direction row and flex wrap wrap. So our flex flow could be row wrap, to use the shorthand notation. Then these will all be 100%, right? Make their widths all 100%. They're going to fill up the whole row. And then here, make this like 30, 40%, and this like 60%, and this 100%. And then here, right, 20%, 20%, 60%. And then it looks like there's an order thing going on where the order is being changed. We go 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3. So we're changing the order, and we have 2 breakpoints. So that's just like a breakdown of, hey, how's this page doing what it does? And by the way, the only people who do this with web browsers, like change the size of them like this, are people who build websites. Everybody else just opens them and looks at them on their device. They see it like this, or they see it like that, or they see it like this, but they don't sit there and go, hey, breakpoints, nice. I think that's kind of funny. All right, so here's the code. We have body, 3 divs, 3 classes, a breakpoint at 600, and a breakpoint at 800, and the main and the style. So let's look at the CSS, because that's where a lot of this formatting happens. So the very first thing is our main. And on our main, body becomes a flex container, flex flow row wrap. Width of the body is 100%. There's no padding or margin. And then C1, 2, 3, their width is all 100%. And then we just give it a height. So that's how we get this look right here, right? 100%, 100%, 100% on their width. So they're taking up the whole row, and when it takes up the whole row, it kicks whatever's after it to the next row, so on and so forth. Styles is just giving text color and background color, right, to the different things. So the text is white, the background color are those blues. And then we have the first media query right here. So that's our breakpoint, 600 pixels. This becomes a width of 60. This becomes a width of, whoa, okay. So C2 is this one here. That becomes a width of 40%, right? And then C1 is this one here. And that becomes a width of 60%. And order 2, so that's order 1, that's order 2. And then C3 is a width of 100%, and it's still 3. So it stays where it's at. So that's those things. And then we get to our next media query breakpoint. And it looks like this. So we just say C2 is 20%, C3 is 20%, and C1 stayed 60%. C1 is 60%. So really like small amount of code, but because 20% and 60% and 20% add up to 100%, these 3 can all share the same row, right? That's the 100% of the row. So that's the second flex box design pattern from Google's Web Fundamentals. And hopefully you're starting to see the pattern, right, in how these things are built, which is this right here. And so that's a really, that is the main takeaway from all of Google's design patterns, is make sure you understand that. And interestingly, they don't explicitly say that. Like, I had to dig through the code, look how each of them are working, and realize this is the main takeaway. It's what they're doing on all of them. All right, so the next video, we're going to see the third example from Google's Flexbox design patterns.